The Bitcoin crash is continuing, and on today's update video, I'm gonna be talking about the most important big levels of support laying below us. I'm gonna be talking exactly about the reasons why we're seeing an even bigger dump towards the downside right now here. Of course, I'm gonna talk indeed also about the opportunities currently laying in the market because yes, I do really understand the market is horrible. We only are coming down and down and down, but at the same time, this also does really allow opportunity because the biggest opportunities always lay in a major correction. So that is why I'm going to be talking about the most important levels on today's update video. So don't forget to once again watch this video till the end because it's going to be very important, because what we're currently seeing is literally that the short-term holders are getting shaken out here. And I'm not saying this just because this sounds interesting. No, this is real actual data. So a lot of important data will be getting discussed on today's update video, including I'm going to be doing a deep dive in towards the Ethereum chart, which is right now breaking very important support. So don't forget to once again snap out that like button back above 1,000 likes will be highly appreciated, and let me jump straight away in towards the content. So obviously the reasons why we are currently seeing an even bigger dump towards the downside is really due to the fact that we're having a major trade war from the United States of America with all these other countries. So we've got a 25% tariff on Canada, Mexico, European Union, and 20% tariffs on China, and potentially 100% tariffs on the BRICS nations. So this is of course something very bad for the market, and like you can see over here on the chart, every single time whenever the worries about the trade war occur, the market takes a very big hit here. And so far it has erased over $900 billion from the cryptocurrency market in approximately matter of 5 weeks here, which is of course extremely bad here. And at the same time, we're seeing basically that the fear and greed index is massively dropping to extreme fear levels. And yeah, what we can currently see here is that approximately 4 months ago, when Bitcoin was breaking above 80,000 US dollars, it was getting overbought. And now 4 months later, while we're dropping down again here, we're getting oversold here. This is exactly how markets work. This is the progress of the market. I mean, honestly, it's of course quite unfortunate to see Bitcoin coming down again here. But yeah, I'm going to be talking about my major levels of support a little bit later, so make sure to stick in the video. But one thing what is very interesting is that actually right now, of course, we're seeing lower levels than the FTX collapse in terms of the fear and greed index in the market. And if we're going to be looking back at all the times the fear and greed index was so low, we've seen some very interesting data. In December 2018, within 2 months of hitting a score of 8, we surged over 330%. On March 20th, hitting a score of 9, we surged over 75% within 1 month. 2021, we surged over 33% within 2 months. And then in 2022, November, we surged over 44% within 2 months as well. And you can see all this data here as well. August 2024, we had a score of 17. Within 3 months, we surged over 80% here. And you can see it on this chart right here as well. Every single time, basically, whenever the market is in extreme fear, we do tend to see, of course, this as a great buying opportunity. So I do know it is very horrible to say this right now here because people hate it. But oh, the market is crashing, blah, blah, blah. But it's a fact that these usually are the best opportunities in the market as well here. So indeed, it looks like Bitcoin is in an absolutely free fall. And honestly, we're seeing major outflows coming in on the spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF. So far, I don't really have today's data yet here because I'm recording the video and the data is not out yet here. Maybe a little bit later on today, you can just check out on my Twitter feed whenever the data is live, of course, because I will be one of the first ones out there to tweet all this data. We've already seen over 7 consecutive days of outflows, and probably this is going to be the 8th one because we have once again seen a major correction lower. And historically, if we have been looking at the Ethereum and Bitcoin ETF, whenever we see historical inflows or outflows, it tend to mark the top or bottom. But yeah, let's see how it is going to be playing out here. But anyways, we're also seeing that, of course, the US stock market is taking a big hit here, and that is of course also what is dragging Bitcoin down here. Then looking at, of course, the liquidity heat map, there's not a lot of liquidity laying on the lower side, especially more on the top side. But of course, due to the fact that the S&P 500, the trade wars, it's all dragging Bitcoin down here. And that is why we are seeing that continuation towards the downside. Then, of course, on the bigger perspective, we broke the daily support line. And ever since we broke the daily support line, we already reached our price target of this trading pattern. And now if we're going to be looking realistically, I mean, I spoke about potentially a liquidity grab. And of course, that I will only trade it if we do see a bounce back towards the upside. So far, we've clearly not seen that. And if I'm then going to be looking at the next major levels of support for Bitcoin, we're going to be looking at this previous range high in the market right here. This is a very important important level for Bitcoin. It's sitting around 73,000 US dollars. It's about like, what is it? Another 10% move towards the downside. And we're going to be finding a big level of support. So far, the correction is already in for about 27%. But if we're going to be looking back at previous Bitcoin corrections in previous bull markets, it is very normal to get these exact 20 to 30% corrections. And if we're going to be looking then at these previous cycles, we always get these 20 to 30% corrections. It does make a lot of sense that potentially right now, the correction is already over. I mean, a lot of people are going to be waiting and being interested in accumulating Bitcoin around this region right here. So why would Bitcoin go exactly down towards that region for everyone to accumulate, for everyone to be making money? That is usually not what happens on the market. That is usually not how the market works here. So that is usually why we are looking at such kind of levels as well here in the market. I really think that such kind of a zone, this is the zone before we went absolutely parabolic, could be also a very interesting range of accumulation. And in general, I think the DCA strategy right now here in such a massive correction towards the downside is a very good strategy to be using right now here. So Bitcoin is coming down. I think the next major support for a Bitcoin is going to be 77,000 US dollars. If we, however, break that level, it's going to be 72,000 US dollars. And of course, if we break 72,000 US dollars, we're going to come all the way down towards this range right here. And then we're going to be quite screwed, in my opinion, because then we're going to come down to 53,000 US dollars. Then we have seen over a 50% correction, and we can definitely argue the bull market is somewhat over for Bitcoin right now then. So really, it's going to be important that we're going to be holding up certain levels. And these are going to be the most important levels I am currently going to be looking at. And really, it could be potentially get even worse here because, yeah, the trade fears, like I stated earlier, are very high in the market. And Donald Trump is really the one that is causing, first of all, this major move towards the upside, but now is also causing this major correction towards the downside. So honestly, it is looking extremely bad for Bitcoin, and I truly hope we do see a bounce higher. And for me to really flip bullish on Bitcoin, I need to see a break above the 90,000 US dollars, because if we break above 90,000 US dollars, we're breaking back in towards the top side of the range, and that would give me a bullish confirmation. But as long as that is not happening, I don't really believe that it's a great time to be bullish on Bitcoin. So this is basically my take here in the market. But one thing that is actually making me quite bullish on this most recent correction is that the most amount of people that are actually selling their Bitcoin are very short-term holders. People that have holded Bitcoin for about a month right now here to a week. You can see that those are the ones that are actually realizing the massive amounts of losses. So the people that are actually selling right now here are the people that are quite short in the market. And like I stated many times before as well, we have seen the Bitcoin market do and really occur these 30 to 40% corrections quite a lot here. And it is actually quite typical to see such kind of a correction in bull market cycles. So honestly, I am not all too much worried about that here. And you have to understand in the background that Trump still owns over $500 million worth of Bitcoin. And he would have sought it if he knew something that it was going to, of course, go to much lower levels, of course, right? I mean, Ethereum is breaking this very important level of support. Ever since it did broke this important level of support, you've seen the continuation lower. And this once again shows you the importance and the significance of these levels once again in the market. I mean, we're starting to be breaking above a weekly level of major support for Ethereum as well. I mean, you could still approach Ethereum on a very interesting level like this here, that we're of course finding support on the weekly time frame. Still, Ethereum is just in a major consolidation phase. You can see also that the daily bullish divergence is invalidated. It will only get confirmed if we do see, of course, a green candle right here. Right now, we're once again oversold on the daily time frame as well here. So Ethereum is bleeding quite heavily, and if you're looking at the higher time frames as well, it is starting to go quite oversold here, and it had a major correction already from of that 4,000 US dollar region. So Ethereum is correcting quite hard right now here. It's not only Ethereum, it's a lot of altcoins as well that are just heavily getting shaken out right now. So yeah, it's a difficult market right now to be in. It's a difficult market to be participating in, but just like I stated in many times before here in the video, honestly, in these periods where we are experiencing extreme fear, it usually allows also extreme opportunity. And really, Bitcoin is in a free fall, and it is very likely that we're just going to be having another move towards the downside. And calling a bottom on such kind of a move is extremely difficult. So that is also exactly not what I'm going to be doing right here. I think it's extremely difficult to call bottom on such kind of a structure. Only if I see a clear clear structure getting created for Bitcoin that it is going to be reversing. I mean, I am starting to see some signals that this dump is going to get exhausted, because here on the 4-hourly time frame, I mean, it's not confirmed yet here, so don't get me wrong, we're starting to create somewhat of a bullish divergence. So yeah, if this does get confirmed, it potentially could start to mark the bottom of this correction. But of course, just like I stated earlier, what I'm going to be closely looking at are going to be these levels right here, because these levels are going to be just the most important for me to look at, because this is just the current range where we're trading in, and this is exactly going to be telling us a story on how Bitcoin is going to be playing out here. So this was it for me in today's update video. I mean, yeah, another day where Bitcoin is correcting, but guys, if you right now still want to be trading Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrencies out there, the best way to do so is definitely on the Blofin exchange here. Blofin allows you to, of course, trade with leverage, and I mean, if we are seeing Bitcoin hitting these important levels, you could get a very great trade here. And I mean, if you did open up a short position on the breakdown right here, you made an insane amount of money as well here. So there are many great trading opportunities in the market right now. Just follow the right rules, and then you, of course, just follow the right rules and don't follow your emotion, and then of course you can be an extremely profitable trader. But anyways, guys, this is it for me in today's update video. If you did learn something from it, don't forget to slap on that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys back again tomorrow on another update video. Peace out. Goodbye.